All right, everybody, let's go ahead and practice one more together before I give you two, if you can see them at the bottom of the page, that you're going to do on your own. Okay, remember, we're converting from standard to slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept is when y is all by itself. And if I look at this equation, I notice y is not all by itself. I have 8x's with it, and it's being multiplied by -2. I'm going to quick draw my line so that I remember whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I must do to the other. So in order to get y all by itself, first thing I'm going to get rid of is this 8x. Well, it's a positive 8x. To get rid of positive 8x's, I've got to subtract 8x's. And from both sides of my equal sign. I know if I have 8x's and I subtract 8x's, I'm left with 0. So I have -2y, don't forget that negative sign in front, equals, I notice that these two terms are not alike, so I cannot add them together. So -8x, since I like having my x first, -4. You could also write it as -4 minus 8x. Both ways work here. All right. Now I'm going to look at my y. It's not quite all by itself. There's a -2 with it. So to get rid of that -2, since it's right next to the y, I need to divide by -2. -2 divided by -2 makes 1. So I'm left with y equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. And a negative divided by negative is a positive. So I'm left with 4x. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. A negative divided by negative equals a positive. I have my slope-intercept form because y is all by itself. I'm going to go ahead and write it over here. Y equals 4x plus 2. And this right here is the equation that I like to use when I am finding the slope and the y-intercept. Oh, I now notice you can't see my whole equation. All right, so to solve for slope, I know that it is the m value in my y equals mx plus b. And in this case, my slope is 4. It's the number right in front of the x. My y-intercept is the b value in y equals mx plus b. So in this case, my b value is 2. If you remember, x-intercept is a little bit more work. X-intercept is when y equals 0. In the past, we've always used this equation to solve for y-intercept. I'm just going to show you once how to use our slope-intercept form to solve for the x-intercept. Once again, either way works. I just have a preference for using this equation. So this equation starts with y equals, and I know y is equal to 0. So I'm going to write 0, then my equal sign, and it ends with 4x plus 2. I know you are all awesome at two-step equations, so this might be your preferred way. Okay, my goal is going to be to get my variable all by itself. In this case, it's x. So first thing I need to get rid of is the plus 2. To get rid of plus 2, I subtract 2 from both sides of my equal sign. I know 0 minus 2 is -2 equals, I still have 4x's left, and a positive 2 and a -2 make 0. It is gone. All right, so I don't quite have x all by itself. To get it all by itself, I need to get rid of this 4. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4, since 4 is currently multiplying with the x. I know 4 divided by 4 is 1, so I'm left with x equals -2 over 4. That can simplify to -1/2. So I now have my x-intercept. If you need some more help with this concept, please let me know. If not, go ahead and move on to today's exit ticket.